Alright, I'm gonna mush some peanuts and banana and a little of that star anise all together, toast some bread, and try to have it as a meal. It's gonna take some time. You know, it really takes a lot of training to understand why they sell containers in the sizes they do. Like, who buys containers of red pepper this large? Or who buys containers of parsley this large? Well, it's not until I discovered tomato sauce that these red peppers really are tolerable in larger amounts and actually nicer. And then parsley, they go good with potatoes in large amounts. Even, yeah, even in the dried state. So I have a better idea why they're sold in larger containers now. I didn't realize how weak my tongue got until I started licking this stuff off. I don't have a lot of, I've lost a lot of tongue strength. I'm gonna need to practice that. So I'm gonna need to make more of these types of dishes so that I forcefully lick it off and work the tongue muscle. All right, I'm finally at the eating stage. How long did that take? All right, so this star anise is actually a fruit and they dry it. What does it look like when it's fresh? That's my curiosity. In my book, it says it's safe for children. But I mean, it's like saying fruit is safe for children, because that's what this is. It's a spicy fruit. You're saying fruit is safe for children. Pretty much when you say star anise is safe for children. So today was a nice relief from all that heat. The sun still came out in full force, but that heat was cooled down by the wind. Just today though. Back to sweating tomorrow. So I want to practice some let's say responsible food combinations, permanent combinations pretty much for the rest of my life. Like, for example, milk always has to have tomato juice, tomato sauce, and cayenne with it. Applesauce needs to have cinnamon. Bananas need to have star anise. Carrot juice needs to have dill seeds. Those type of combinations are pretty decent taste-wise, and I think health-wise too. Getting the combinations and expanding on them, I think it should help with any ailments. All right, I gotta ask, which porta potty do I want to use? Like, I want to ask, which Wi-Fi connection do I want? The library one or the Dinosaur Park one? I prefer the Dinosaur Park, but Dinosaur Park's a little more steep and further away, but it's definitely got better internet. So I just had a kid speed by me and tell me F me. I was getting my camera out at the time, trying to actually record him because he was driving really fast around the corner, and I could have captured him swearing at me. Oh well. This is such a dangerous road. So dangerous. What trails do you take to get down, dear? That's what I gotta take. I already walked through, oh, there's another one. I already walked through some grass and I got a couple of ticks on me. I should take his route. That's the better route. I gotta deal with this houses though. Oh man, I don't know. So I took the hard way over there where that person died. You can see the cross. And I didn't even know about this one. This one's a nice incline. I just easily walked down it. That's the better shortcut. I just didn't see it. Yeah, a lot of people that drive this are very reckless. The news again? I seen them yesterday go up that. There are like five towers, electrical communication towers. They might make a daily trip out up to them. I wonder if those lands that I drove through in Kansas and Nebraska, all those farmlands that are so in the towns around it, I wonder if they would have been so boring back in the 1800s when buffalo still roamed. I bet that would have been something to look forward to seeing on those open plains. The way that Lewis and Clark described it and other people describe it, just vast amounts of buffalo that's spread out for miles in some areas, must have been pretty exciting. But now it's just so depressing. You just see cows standing around and inside the barbed wire fence, and rows of boring crops being grown, corn for the high fructose corn syrup industry. That's depressing. And these starlings, they're my only favorite bird in the north to listen to. Just to make note. Swallows are a close second. Alright, this is a bouquet of edibles, but I can't eat them because they're just not in a good spot. Dandelion, wild lettuce, unknown. This could be edible. Unknown. This could be edible. If they're doing so good with the other edibles in overturned soil, they might have something positive going for themselves. I have to identify those. Not only do they have bicycle patrol on that sidewalk, because that's a sidewalk along the river, they drive it too. Deer must have a habit of checking their legs often for ticks, I would think. I have to check my legs through that at least foot-long grass. So you got 5 towers. Oh my god, working with this annatto, it is quite a dye. I wonder if people use it for makeup. Quite a dye. Alright, not far from the Safeway, there's this nice park. I don't think I'll park here, but I just wanted to look at it once. I see herbs. They can't be serious. These are herbs. What is this? No, not milkweed. Milkweed's not an herb. So they got some non-herbs in here. Penstemon? These? What? Pussy toes? These? They're not herbs though. Rhubarb's an herb. Yeah, they got milkweed over there. That's definitely not an herb. This William Noordemeer Formal Gardens is pretty decent. Right now, it's going to get very hot today when the clouds break. People are working out over there doing some really athletic stuff on like a football field. But I don't think I'll park here. I want to go to the library anyway. But this could have been a nice option. There's quite a few nice parks around this area. I guess I better be careful in South Dakota with stop signs. Alright, so the anniversary was yesterday on June 9th. But the reminder is up all the time. So a lot of damage that plowed through this area. They probably widened this. So some guy went to the library a few days ago and asked the librarians about elevations between cities or the geography. He wanted to learn more about that. And also about this flood that happened in 1972. Too bad the librarians couldn't tell them, just walk along the river, there's signs to read. But maybe there's information at the library too, I don't know. For some reason I thought the water was rushing the other way. It's clearly rushing at me. It probably went in several directions during the flooding. Alright, I'm going to abuse star anise and overeat it a lot and see what the repercussions are. I'm going to be mixing it with bananas quite a bit, so maybe I might be eating more bananas too. But I have to find out what the side effects are. The hard way. I found out the side effects for allspice. That affected like my urinary tract. I was abusing allspice with dates, and then I had to give that up. And then reduce my eating of it. I'm gonna abuse star anise because they say it's a fruit. The difference between allspice and star anise is that star anise is a fruit. It's just a dried fruit, but allspice is a seed, so that's gonna be an obvious difference there. Fruits you generally can eat as much as you want, so we'll see how that works out. You know what? It would be a crazy interesting test with this poison blocking annatto seed would be to have hemlock and then annatto. Would annatto save you from the poison? Someday I hope to make enough money so that I could buy another facial flex. I really love that thing. Take those wrinkles around my mouth, but more important than that, it blows up the lips, so I can do like I can do that, but not have to blow out so hard, because when I blow out really softly, it's... But if I had the facial flex and worked out my mouth for a few weeks, then the lips would, when I blow out really low. Right now I got pretty thin lips, and I had that facial flex in my early 20s after the military. I was like, let me try this. I like working out, and if I could work out my mouth out and sit at the computer, that would be awesome. But I lost it or something. I don't know what happened to it, but it's gone. And I'd like to have one back. I'd like to have it. I like to just go while driving. I've tried other methods. I've tried like fingers and tongues and all kinds of different ideas, but I keep going back to the facial flex. That's the best way to really enjoy a good mouth workout. A couple things that get me motivated to walk around neighborhoods is to dump my tea and to dump my pee in the bottle, and those motivate me to walk around and look for isolated places I can dump them. Dumping the pee and dumping the tea. I gave this plant a little smell and a taste. It's actually pleasant. I like it. What is it? That's a plant that loves to grow in overturned soil near close to human activity. So there's a really good chance it's an edible. I got a feeling deer might be at the top here. Or not. It looked like a deer trail. What is that? So they got this big circular thing with a fence around it, stairs that lead up to it, and there's some kind of a pipe on top. No warning signs. Very old fence, but they still have a pretty modern heavy lock on it. What are they protecting at the top of this hill? I suspect it might be a water tower, but I've never seen them do the earth and the earth covering over a water tower, so it's hard to believe that's it. But it's certainly protected all around, and they still mow around it too. This would be that moment where a short flyover with a drone could help. Might have had an old landfill at the top of the hill. Water valve? Yeah, that's either an old landfill or water. Something that has to do with water. Are those cameras? Some homeless people hung out here. It's a good spot, I suppose. I like the smell of this white plant. Ants might too, but they're only, well, I don't know. They're climbing all around it. It reminds me of the desert, some of the desert bush. There's a desert bush that smells similar. It's a nice smell. Air freshener. The city seems like it's doing good for itself. There's no real major abandoned buildings like you find in Lubbock. The mountains saved this city for tourism. The nice hills that it's built itself in. It had to deal with the flooding. I mean, they didn't build on the hills for protection. They just decided to make more channels to deal with the heavy floods that surprised the city. All right, coming down the hill. Nice hill. Not big tourist hill, but it can make a good tourist hill if you want to wander up here. It's good sights. No, I don't really trigger on a lot of particular words that cops say, but I do trigger on the fact that when I hear the ask, I'm asking you for your ID. It's like, well, obviously that's a trigger word that says you don't have to give them anything. They're asking. That's a word that I listen for, but other trigger words, I don't know. The cops have to say certain words because everything's so technical and stuff. Ask is a clear one to me. Like how there's a difference between detainment and arrest. If you don't know the difference, that triggers them and makes them ask you where you got your law degree.